This video is designed to help you with Unit 4, Assignment 3. Now this assignment is found in Unit 4 in Lesson 3. So at this point you should have already done the assignment that has you graph the supply curve. That assignment was very similar to the assignment that you completed in Unit 3 when you were graphing the demand curve. When you did the supply curve, you should have only had one graph with 3 supply curve lines on it. For this assignment, you're going to actually be submitting 2 graphs for me. So in this assignment, it's a little bit different setup than the other 2 assignments that you've been doing where you graphed. You're going to actually go to the SAS Curriculum Pathways website. When you get there, you will have to log in. Remember, when you log in, you just simply do IDLA02 and then no password, and it will take you to this website right here. In here, what you need to do is just click on this link right here, and it will open up this document for you. You don't need to print this or anything, but this is the guideline for the assignment. So instead of it being in Blackboard, this is what you're going to be doing. This is the one that has your data. Also, there are questions on here. The questions that are on here will come up in U4A4. So you, again, don't need to write them down on here, but you will be answering them on the next assignment. So let's go ahead and clarify some things on this part. So what you're going to be doing is creating a graph that has a supply curve and a demand curve on it. So as you can see right here, we have our quantity of donuts demanded for each price, and then we have our quantity of donuts supplied for each price. So these are our data points. So again, if you were doing this on that online chart tool, so you go to the online chart tool, and then you would go to XY, and then when you add your data, you want to make sure that you're putting the graph title, which is supply and demand for jelly donuts. The x-axis is quantity. We're not going to put quantity demanded or quantity supplied because they're sharing a graph. And then your y is price. On your data set, again, I do the shortcut method and just do 2 points. But if you're looking at the content here, you've got 5 points if you're going to put all of them in. Remember, if you're doing 2 points, you do this first one and this last one to make sure that you get the entire line drawn out. I selected no shape, and there are 2 groups because we're going to do a demand and we're going to do a supply. So then down here we're going to make sure we label it correctly. So I've got a demand curve and then I have a supply curve. For my first value, 5 is going to be the quantity demanded at a price of $1.25. And I'm finding that right here. And then my last one is 25 demanded at a price of 25 cents. When you write in the 25 cents, make sure you type in 0.25. I noticed that when I put just 0.25, it moved my decimal and it was incorrect. So make sure that you put 0.25. Then you enter in your supply. Again, refer to the chart right here to get your data. And you want to make sure you're choosing the same points or all of them. Okay, once that is done, just hit next. All this is fine, and then we've got our curve. Okay, so you can see that we've got all of our prices here and our quantity down here. Okay, the equilibrium is found right here in the middle. That will be a question for you. Okay, so as we're going down here, it's going to say, what's the equilibrium price? Well, that's where the supply and demand meet. So that is going to be a number, an amount, I should say. Okay, then you'd answer these questions, but again, you don't need to answer them here. You're going to find them in U4A4. Then this is the next graph that you're going to be doing right here. So it says, what would happen to the demand curve if your teacher gave everyone extra credit for buying a donut? So 10 more donuts would be sold at each price. And then what would happen to the supply curve if the price of sugar suddenly increased due to a shortage, so that 5 fewer donuts were supplied at every price? So these 2 points right here are going to be your next graph. So you're going to take this information and change your data up here. So the first one said that you're going to have 10 more donuts at each price. So this number is going to be 15. This one's going to be 20. This one's going to be 25, 30, and 35. These numbers for the price stay the same. For quantity of donuts supplied, remember we had a shortage, so we're going to be decreasing. So this decreasing by 5. So this would be 20, 15, 10, 5, and 0. Okay, so once you plot those, I'm not going to do it on here for you, but you're going to notice that your demand is going to shift and your supply is going to shift. Okay, so your new chart, again, should have an equilibrium price, but it's going to shift. Okay, so make sure that you're submitting 2 graphs for me. Once you've done those graphs, like I said, you'll go into U4A4 and answer those questions that you just saw on this worksheet. Good luck.